Welcome to your Daily Dose with Dr. Moshe, a show we created to answer everyday questions you have about your health. I'm Dr. Moshe, and I've been helping patients for 15 years.
I'm Big Al, a radio and TV host for over 20 years. We want you to know what's going on in the world around you. We want to help you be better informed about the topics that could affect your health, how to deal with them, and make your life better.
And I'm Rachel, a producer and host. Together we'll do our best to answer your questions, from world news to the USA to what's happening down the block. We want you to know how to stay healthy and how to deal with anything that comes your way, because together we can all be better.
Yes! Welcome back to another Daily Dose with Dr. Moshe. How you guys doing?
We're doing
Wow.
Hey,
Yes.
we're doing great. We got a great show jumping off here. We're going to talk about going to Hawaii, maybe dealing with a little athletics. Definitely deal with some health, celebrity health right there with Rachel. But first, we got some great guests on today.
Yes, we are excited. We've got two students from college, me and Julia, who are joining us. These are our first viewers sort of in-house virtually, if you can do that without saying it the wrong way technically. And we're excited because they're going to talk to us about some perceptions that young people have, especially when it comes to social media and appearance and things of that nature. Welcome.
Thank you.
I love it. So one of the first things that popped off, and it was something that sprung up to our attention, is that many times young people, even as young as like 13, 14, 15, can start looking at cosmetics, but also, which you might expect, some of the fillers and Botox. Have you all ever looked at these things or thought, hey, maybe I could use a little touch here, a little nip there?
Well, I definitely think the media makes you think that you need to perfect yourself, and you see pictures of other people and you think that, oh, like I want to look like them, I want to be like them. So personally, I love Kylie Jenner, and
Same.
I've always wanted to get lip fillers, but I don't think I actually like need them. I just think that because like she did it, and like it's like kind of like a trend now that like people are getting lip fillers and stuff. Like for me, I think like that is the only thing I would do, but I still don't think I like need it necessarily. But like when I look at media, I feel like I need it because it's like such like a perspective kind of, like that's what you see and you're like, I should need to look like that too, kind of.
Yeah. You don't need it. You really don't need it. And I'm so sorry that the internet is making you feel that way. And like, it's like a fad, as in a sense. Like,
Yeah, it's like I feel like big lips are like in right now. Yeah.
I understand from the influencer to you to get you to do different makeup things and the Botox and all that. But how does it feel with the peer pressure, other people who saw maybe the same influencer ad or like Kylie Jenner, for example, and how do you deal with that, the peer pressure?
I mean, it's definitely hard because it's hard to like look at someone else kind of and be like, oh my God, like I want to look like them. Like on social media, on their Instagram, they look really cool. Like they look really fun. Like people I think can make themselves look better on or like different on social media than they are in reality. And I feel like I've come into contact with like many people where I know them on social media, like I follow them on Instagram or something, and then in person I don't even recognize them because it's like people think that like social media is kind of just it, and like if you look good on social media and like if you like are like all that on social media, then like you're set for life. But like in reality it's not like that. And I think like personally as like a teenage girl and like in college and stuff, like you look at other girls and you'll be like,
absolutely.
oh my God, like they're so cool, they're so pretty, and then like you see them in person and you're like, that's weird.
Like that.
Yeah, like you're weird. Like, that's weird because you don't actually look like that. But then like you think that they look like that, if that makes sense.
It's like we're getting catfished on the daily.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, this girl must have 0 wrinkles, like huge boobs, big booty. But in all grand scheme of things, it's the filters
It is.
and
And,
the
like,
Photoshop.
yeah,
that's
like
what it
nowadays
really is.
you can edit like so
So
much, and like people won't even know until like they see you in person.
Mm-hmm.
But like
Yeah.
people can make themselves look however they want to look, however they want to like, and however they want their body to look in a certain image. Like they can literally just like transform that. And like to me, like that's just like weird. Like
pressure.
that it's not reality. It's pressure.
not. Yeah.
It's definitely pressure because you feel like when you post something on Instagram, like
You have
am
to
I
look
like
that.
those girls? Like am I competing with them? Kind of like I guess it's like that.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of insecurities happen on social media. I feel like a lot of us, I mean, speaking for myself, sometimes I'll like, oh, if I analyze my picture for too long, it's like, no, I don't want to post it.
don't
It's
wanna
just,
post it anymore.
Yeah.
it's like, I start comparing
Same way.
myself to other people. And that's just
Yeah.
how it's the
And
ripple
if
effect
you
of like,
scroll through your feed and like you see like other girls like posting or something, and like you're like, my picture's not as good as that, and then like you just don't post it or something. Like it's just like stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you actually sense that there's like more attention, that someone will get a lot more attention simply because their posts and things like that look so great and things like that?
Absolutely.
I think today, especially, like we find most of our friends on social media.
Yeah.
So if you look at their picture, like for example, going into college last year, we like found roommates and everything through Facebook, and they posted pictures of themselves, you know? So you want to kind of see who matches you, but you really can't tell through a picture.
dating apps too, it's like we're judging a person based off of a picture, just like how
Yeah.
you do your roommate situation.
Right,
People are
right.
dating that way too.
Right, exactly. It's crazy. You have no idea who the person is, but that's how we do it today. So,
But I've heard there are a lot of success stories, you know, with
Yeah,
roommates,
I
with the
met my
dating
roommate
app.
like on social media, and
Yeah.
I love her. She's my best
Exactly.
friend.
Me
Like there's
too.
some people that like it works so well for, and then
And it
others
just
that it just doesn't.
I get a question to ask you because I'm old, you know. But the thing is, I was posting a selfie. I was doing a morning walk, and I just was trying to be cute, like no filter, you know. Look, this face needs every filter. But
False.
the weird thing is, I got so many hits, so many likes. Like, oh my god, the guy's actually, you know, it's somebody being honest. I'm like, that's weird to me because I never put filters on anything because I don't know how to do it per se to find the right one. But it's such a release to people like, oh my God, somebody's actually being honest. Do you sense that in your social media world?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see the hashtag no filter sometimes, and it's like, wow, that's really what the person looks like. But I think so. I think it's honestly, it's empowering when people post, because so many people post with filters today. So you see that and you're like, wow, good for you to like put yourself out there and to just like look how you are. And I think people hop on that. They notice like you're really being yourself. And I think that's definitely a plus of social media.
Yeah, because I feel like social media is such a highlight reel. And that's why we really have to emphasize like people are posting their highlights to social media. So you shouldn't really be comparing your weakest moments to someone's highlight reel. And that's where a lot of people, including myself, will just get into a spiral of like, oh my gosh, well, that person's killing it, doing great things, clearly, because it's being posted on social media. And then I'll have the reflection of like, dang, like I'm not having a good day today.
I also think that social media allows people to like, people will think like someone's having a really good time somewhere or something, and like they might not actually. And I feel like that's a big thing in college. Like people will like post at like parties or something and be like, oh my God, like this is so fun. And like make you feel like you're kind of like missing out, but like in reality they're having an awful time.
Right.
But they just have to post on social media to make it look like they're having fun and like they're doing something.
In reality, they're posting on their phone in a corner
instead
how
of
much fun they're having.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
So on a last note, what might be a piece of advice you give a young teen who might be 16 or 17, kind of feels a bit shy and self-conscious, maybe they even have acne, and to look out for maybe as they're venturing towards, you know, college or on social media? What things might you, just even one thing you might suggest so that they kind of don't get all caught up in the hype and the filter?
I would definitely say do not think social media is everything.
Yeah.
With what we were explaining, half of the time it's fake. So I think you definitely need to go in, especially to college, with an open eye. You need to put yourself out there. You need to meet people in person and not just on social media. So I definitely think that, you know, social media, there's positives and there's negatives, and you just need to recognize that and like research, and you just have to be true to yourself and just know that like you are who you are, and you're here for the reason, and go in with that mindset.
Yeah, I definitely feel like people get really lost in it. And I think definitely like if you like want to post a selfie, you feel empowered, like you go, like you post that selfie, like make yourself feel good, but don't get like engulfed in it. Like don't like be like, oh my God, I posted this selfie, like I got this many likes, I need to go post like this because I know it's gonna get this many likes, or like, I'm gonna delete this picture because I don't think I look my best. Like don't do that. Like I think like you need to live your life to how, like if you want to post something, post it. If you don't want to post something, post it. Like if something's gonna make you, like you have to do what's gonna make you feel good. It's like what I've learned about like if you're going to post something that's going to make you feel good and empowered, then post it. Like that's for you. But if you're posting something just to like put it out there and just like kind of just like to be like everybody else, like you need to like have like a second look kind of. Like I feel like social media gets to people's heads a lot.
So if I'm spending 2 hours editing and trying to deal with filters, getting makeup, maybe that's a little bit too much.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. In the end, it's going to get maybe less likes than your natural self.
And people are going to see you in person and be like, who is this person? I don't even recognize her.
Well, thanks so much. You guys offer such a fresh perspective, and that's what we love, and definitely appreciate the energy. But I think also some really helpful advice too for our viewers, not to really try to be something that they're not and pretend to project something to the world that's completely fake. We have enough of that out there already.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks again.
Well, thank you for having us.
That's one of the things that I've also learned from my younger brother talking about social media. Don't be like Lil Bow Wow or Shad Moss. Don't lie. Don't say you're doing something. Just don't do that, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So I'm like, okay. I just chronicle everything from there. So I'm learning. And this is great. I got a chance to learn how to properly do things. That's really good. That's really good. Hey, we're gonna move things over to Miss Rachel with Celebrity Health.
Yes, I'm gonna give y'all some Hollywood health topics. So to start off, as we've discussed, social media can have negative effects on one's mental health. I mean, have you seen The Social Dilemma? Have y'all seen Social Dilemma on Netflix? Yes. Have y'all? Wow. Well, I highly recommend it. Another show on Netflix I'd recommend is Chasing Cameron. The reality series aired in 2016, centered around social media influencer Cameron Dallas, one of the main members of a group called MagCon, which is an abbreviation for Meet and Greet Convention. The show reveals Cameron and other MagCon members' road to fame and the price that comes with internet stardom. Now, 4 years later, after the premiere of Chasing Cameron, and after finding mega fame on Vine and Instagram, the 26-year-old admits social media took a lot out of him, and he didn't realize how draining it had become. Cameron had an exclusive interview with People and went into great depth on how social media was a drug for him. He'd spend hours studying the social media algorithms, trying to find hacks and ways to gain more followers. He barely graduated from high school, began drinking a lot, and then entered rehab, focusing on addiction, anxiety, and depression. Last May, though, he celebrated a year of sobriety. Congratulations, Cameron. He's still on social media, yet in moderation, focusing on his music. He recently has a new album out called Dear Scarlet, and in one of his songs, he sings, "I'm not the kid you know from the internet." No. Now, although there are negative impacts to social media, let's shift perspectives to the positives, which include bringing awareness to what's really happening around the world. Celebrities such as Bella Hadid, Lil Nas X, Rihanna, and even Beyonce are using social media to speak up and spread awareness on what is currently happening in Nigeria. For nearly 2 weeks across the country, demonstrators have taken part in a daily protest over the widespread claims of kidnapping, harassment, and extortion by a police unit known as SARS, the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. The hashtag #EndSARS protest campaign has gained increased traction globally since international celebrities such as Beyonce are supporting those protesting for change. In fact, Beyonce is collaborating with coalitions to provide emergency healthcare, food, and shelter in Nigeria. So that's awesome, Beyonce, that you are doing that to help Nigeria with the healthcare and resources.
That is fantastic. Beyonce, so many stars already ready to step up, and it's just a couple of clicks away to spread the word and spread some good cheer, if you will. And man, that documentary, that was very scary for me. I mean, it's after watching it again, I'm realizing it's like one big Pavlovian experiment. Like you're trying to get the likes and get the it's really scary, but it's good to see both sides. Yeah. The social.
You're talking about the Social Dilemma documentary? Yes. Oh my gosh, it's like it's trending on Netflix right now as to what the impacts of social media, what it's doing, the positive, the negatives, and how we are addicted to our phones. Like we are addicted to our phones. Like I might say, oh no, I'm not. Like I'm hanging out. I can put my phone down. Hang up to hang out is what we say, like amongst my girlfriends, like hang up to hang out. But at the same time, it's like, although I'm with my girlfriends, it's like, who's texting me? Or who sent me an email? Is there a notification on Instagram? I gotta check my TikTok. We just have those conversations in our head of like, I just need to have my phone in hand. It's hard.
First thing we do when we wake up, and the last thing usually before we go to bed, and then if it's missing, oh my gosh, we're in a panic.
Yeah. No, actually, and I actually know some celebrities, Lisa Rinna, actually, her husband is the one who said no phones in the bedroom. And I actually really like that. The bedroom is meant for sleeping, hanging, one-on-one time, no phones in the bedroom. And I'm okay with that. I mean, I got no man to do that with, but what are y'all's perspectives on that?
I was just going to ask you, like, who you putting the phone down for, girl?
That's why I still have my phone on me at all times.
No, you're totally right. We need to be able to unplug a lot more than we do. And it's becoming almost like a anchor or a handcuff. It's hard to let the thing go.
That's crazy. I'm almost scared to turn the phone off when I go to bed. I'm worried that somebody's gonna call me or something's gonna happen in the middle of the night and I wasn't there. And it's nerve-wracking. But as long as you temper it, like you said, hey, turn that phone off or don't use the phone at all at night and just go to bed. Just go to bed and relax. Calm down. So that'll help a lot. Thank you so much, Rachel, for the celebrity help there. Hey, we gotta move on to some good stuff here. Fact or foolishness. Dr. Moshe loads them up with some items. I'll just be nice and say some items. We got to determine whether it's a real thing or if it's just foolishness. Okay, so take it away, Dr. Moshe.
All right, so fact or foolishness. Okay, so we've got a couple of little props here. Not sure if you guys can be able to see them, but what would you guys call these? You're able to figure out?
Band-Aids?
These are Band-Aids. All right, so you're going to get stuck in, let's say, the wilderness. And you're going camping, and you just didn't bring any Band-Aids. What might be something from a little critter that you might be able to use and maybe be able to deal with? Let's say you got a cut, you got a nick, and you've got to deal with closing it up.
To use something, a leaf? I don't know. Then being my luck, it could be poison ivy. But I mean, what would I use? I don't know.
So you're bleeding profusely.
Yeah,
you don't have a lot of time. It's just, survivor the fittest, survivor, naked and afraid.
This is why I don't go camping. This is why I don't go in the wilderness. Like I go glamping, like at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
We just talked about, okay. We just talked about being less engaged and plugged and things like that. So, might there be something that a spider has? It actually turns out that spiders make cobwebs, and you can actually take the cobwebs and use them to close any wound or bleeding that's going out there. So that's an approach out there in the wilderness. Spider cobwebs actually have this vitamin K and all kinds of things in it that help stop bleeding. And so maybe if you grab some from the garage, or not your garage, of course, but maybe your uncle's garage. Because I know you're Rogers. Yeah.
What if one doesn't like spiders? Like I'd rather not try to find a spider to use its web. Like, I leave that, like Charlotte's web, you just don't touch her web. Like it's, I don't know. We're gonna take someone else's habitat to save my scratch. Again, this is why I don't go camping. I don't like this. I don't like this predicament, this situation, because I wouldn't be found there. Dang.
Creative ways to get us, out of the bedroom and off the phone. All right.
And off the phone.
Good.
Now, would you do that? Would you go and try to put a spider on your
I had no idea you could do that. I just kind of went with the old school term, rub some dirt on it and walk it off. I thought that was, but, apparently spider webs have vitamin K, so I guess that helps.
Right, that's a good help.
Vitamin K?
Yeah, vitamin K. Yeah. So
What's vitamin K?
It helps you to clot. Okay, moving right along. All right, so our next little thingy is we've got this wilted flower here, and there's a really good way to try to help these wilted flowers become a lot more alive. And I'll give you guys a clue. It's a popular drug amongst men, the researchers have actually done research to find that, again, we can take that little wilted flower and kind of bring it back to life, so that we take this and we turn it into this. What kind of drug do you think might be able to pull? Now, this is strong, firm, and it's very taut. What did you say?
Can I say that on TV?
Freezing up.
Somebody researched this.
Oh.
We're going to hand this over to Rachel because I think I have a good idea.
Okay. Is it Viagra?
It's Viagra. You got it. You got it. So researchers have actually found that we can help our plants that might be wilted and dying become much more firm and erect and things like that if we give them. They actually researched this in a medical journal. This wasn't just some, off the wall. So just in case there's some pills that might be blue or other colors these days, or 3 or 4 of them laying around, or again, over at the grandparents when you're cleaning up the garage, and you really want to help spruce up the wilting lilies or things of that nature, or their begonias, that drug can be used to turn the dead and bring them back to life. So yeah, you guys, right on top.
Okay, so this isn't like a figure of speech for the flower being metaphorically something else. It's for real flowers. Real
flowers. Real flowers. Good to bring out. So that's
okay.
Business. Those are both facts. So
wow.
Interesting.
You got another one, sir?
Good. Oh, okay. Here's one. Okay, just pull this one. 98% similar DNA between humans and chimps. 98%. But what about a human and snail? How far up do you think the number would be? 10%, 20%? What number do you come up with?
Oh.
Yeah, a lot less. Probably like 2%.
Because
the slimy ones.
Yeah, the ones that
have more percentage.
What number you give us, Al? So she give us 2. You're gonna raise her wager and see her in the house. We'll bet you. We'll protect you, cover you.
Yeah, I probably would go like maybe 5%.
Okay, so both of you guys are pretty close. 70%.
70%?
70?
Yep, 70%.
So we are like snails, 70%. Where are you getting this information? We are that similar to snails?
I know. We'll put out the sources because I didn't write these articles. I didn't do the research. I have to admit, I can't take the fifth, but I can certainly say I didn't write the articles. So yeah. So anyway, we thought that was just may tell you why maybe people are getting stuck in the bedroom on their cell phones, because maybe they got a little slug in them. But yeah, there's a lot more match than might think. So there we go. It's fact, not foolishness.
Now we're gonna try to do a little bit of good news here. So this is relating to COVID, and it was for a while it was tough to go to Hawaii. Obviously people traveling, and there was a whole thing a few months ago where you can come to our state, but you gotta wait 2 weeks quarantine, and then you gotta then you're able to get out there. But now they've accepted a negative COVID test 72 hours before you depart from wherever you are to Hawaii, and then you're good to go. You can be out there. Now they have a documented test, and then you can go out there and party. 8,000 people showed up to Hawaii the first day they accepted everyone coming with the negative COVID test. So they've been avalanche. Anybody want to get out there and have a good time in Hawaii? I don't know if there's any truth to whether they take a test when you land in Hawaii, or is it all just before you leave and go on the plane, before you get on the plane, Dr. Moshe?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So before you go, but you're right. I think we are seeing massive cabin fever. People want to get out and about. They are maybe not going to totally put the cell phones down, but they're going to do it while they're at the beach for a few minutes. And people are looking to travel. We're seeing airline travel pick up like crazy. People have been up just a little bit too long. Sometimes with the ones they love, sometimes not. So either way, they're getting on the next jet and they're heading somewhere. So if Hawaii says, let's go, they're ready to come.
Yeah, I'm not surprised what you said, Al, that so many people were there wanting to do this, ready to get out of the house.
You know, by the way, Rach, the thing that my mom would like to do before the pandemic happened that she cannot wait until when they open it back up, belly dancing. She was taking belly dancing.
Ooh, Mom and
Obviously,
I have something in common.
you know, no wonder Daddy was smiling. Daddy's always smiling.
Hey,
I understand.
Take her to that class.
Exactly.
Always he needs to.
Yes, yes. So he might need that plant, might need that flower. I'm just saying. Anyway, moving things along with Delonte West. Now we talked about this a little while ago. Delonte West, heavy mental issues. Mark Cuban, who is the owner of the Dallas Mavericks and actually a good friend of Delonte West, and Delonte used to play for him, is able to get him into rehab in a mental health facility in Florida. And things are, according to Mr. Cuban, things are looking up. He is actually being himself. He is actually getting out of that space. And he's even skydiving. I'm like, what? That is fantastic. As a fan, I've always wanted to jump off a plane and float down in a parachute safely. Let me just say safely. But still, to see Delonte West getting out there and being his living his best life in the moment, I think that is fantastic.
We definitely hope the best for him, and it's sounding like a good recovery has been started, to say the least.
Hey, now we're gonna go into the Moshe's Minute. He always got some great jewels to talk about. What you talking about today, Moshe?
Sure. Well, today we want to talk about body dysmorphic disorder. So that's a big name. Maybe some people will use BD. It's a lot easier. But we kind of started to get at how serious this is and how young people can be affected as early as 10, 12 years old. And we know some of the sources, and social media was the one that we focused on today. And there's certainly others, including peer pressure. So if you see your teen or your friend or a teenager or a young person that you sense this may be going on with, and I had a case literally just a week ago, what are some positive tips and what are some ways that we can try to help someone cope with this? And I kind of hinted at that first word, and it's being positive. As silly as it may seem, a compliment a day certainly makes some of the anxiety go away. We really want to help people appreciate the positive things that they bring to the table. And secondly, not really have that skin and these more superficial things, one's chest or one's booty, to pick up the phrase from a famous host that I know and I'm looking at right now, are more important than other things such as your brain, your intellect, and what you have to bring to the world in terms of love. Third, really, again, going in within oneself and finding maybe just 5 or 6 things that you like about yourself. It's really important to kind of offset that negative thinking with some positive thinking. And then, of course, really getting out and doing. And we talked about that a little bit, really realizing that spending too much time on social media, spending too much time looking at even magazines, and don't know that anybody does that anymore, but if they did, maybe in the grocery store for a few seconds, and spending too much time online in particular, really has been shown to really have people integrate really negative feelings over time. Even if they're sort of feeling that they're getting something positive out of it, it actually does this weird thing in our brain that kind of reinforces negative things. And we talked about that. We're looking at somebody having a good time, but then we're secretly jealous. Or we look at someone and we think that they look so great that we kind of say to ourselves, well, I don't think I can post my picture. So taking positive things, and there are some positive things about it, but really needing to sort push the internet and push some of these outside influences. Their goal is to sell, and that's kind of our final take home. At the end of the day, a product's being pushed, something's being sold, something's being marketed, and a lot of the things that we see out there. Internalizing a negative experience for yourself in terms of how you look and how beautiful you are was not really the goal, and certainly shouldn't be your goal. So let's name it and sort of claim it and realize what it is, that this is a sale, this is a sales pitch, and it's wonderful that so many people look beautiful and wonderful, but that beauty really does come from within, and we have to be able to let it shine regardless of some influence or some message or certainly what some filter may say. So that's our minute.
Amen.
All right, let's go to church.
I'm
Praise
so
Dr.
glad.
Moore. Praise
Yeah.
now. Name it and claim it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Hey, so what did we learn today? So we learned a lot today. We dealt with social media and mental health. Hey, look, post what makes you happy, what makes you concerned. It's your world. Live in your world. We learned that for sure. And then I didn't know spider webs had vitamin K on it. It helps blood clotting if you have a big old scratch or something bleeding. And flowers and Viagra, there's a lot to unpack there with that. Also, we're dealing with big up for Delonte West. All the best hopes, all the best prayers for Delonte West and his recovery. It is fantastic. And hey, save your money. We going to Hawaii, baby. We out. We going. We gonna take that shot. Gonna take that test, and then get out there and enjoy ourselves. So hey, thank you so much for taking time out to listen to and watch the Daily Dose with Dr. Moshe. Make sure you check out the website, the actually Instagram and Twitter at DDD Moshe, and you can DM us and leave us a message there. And also check out our Instagrams at Big Al Sams.
Yes, and I'm Rachel Robillard. Y'all can find me on all social media at Rach_Robillard.
And I'm Dr. Moshe. We love having you with us and join us. We hope you'll continue to follow us. And I'm on Instagram at Moshe Lewis MD. Thanks again. Lots of love.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Daily Dose with Dr. Moshe. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to our channel. Also, follow us on social media at DDDMOSHE. Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you and continue asking questions.